Hi everyone, it's Nick with Build Up Advisory Group, and it's Fast Build Fridays, a web series where we will quickly build what you know about infrastructure design in the nonprofit sector. Today's Fast Build topic is the importance of infrastructure in innovation. We hear the word innovation a lot. In fact, leaders often refer to their organizations as innovative, and funders insist that they want to fund their grantees to be innovative. But how do you do that? How do you fund innovation? I've heard people talk about innovative programs, projects, and initiatives, but I rarely hear them talk about innovative infrastructure. I focused on infrastructure for years, and I can tell you that the most innovative organizations are the ones that have the strongest infrastructure. I think when people hear the word infrastructure, they automatically think that infrastructure will stifle creativity and will ultimately stifle innovation. On the contrary, I think infrastructure helps create and sustain innovation. You can only sustainably innovate when you have the right infrastructure in place to allow you to do so. Innovation is defined as a new product, a new thing, a new idea. It's often seen as an outcome. I want to share the first of two core concepts or building blocks about infrastructure and innovation for you to embrace in order to transform how you see innovation from a single output or outcome and instead as a key component of your organization's sustainability. The first building block is that your infrastructure must give you space to create and to experiment and to fail and try again, and to fail again and try again. Infrastructure that cannot allow for these things will only infrequently provide sustainably innovative ideas. How do you design or build this kind of infrastructure? And I don't mean just things, frameworks, processes, and systems. I also mean people. Part of infrastructure, as you know, is the capacity of people. And when people don't have capacity, they cannot innovate. That means that people don't have capacity to be proactive when they're constantly worrying about securing funding to literally keep the lights on, writing redundant reports, and doing multiple jobs while also worrying about whether their organization has the ability to weather a 2-week, not even a 3-week, bad patch of fundraising. It means that leaders need to have the mental capacity to take care of themselves and not wear 4 or 5 hats while being compensated for half a hat. Because all of those things decrease capacity and ultimately diminish the space needed for innovation. So how do we create that space? By ensuring that an organization's infrastructure allows its leaders to have the space to experiment and to encourage their teams to experiment and learn from failure, you're ensuring that the organization has the space to innovate. We get there by building learning elements and collaborative approaches within organizational policies, processes, and decision making, and through general support funding, more unrestricted flexible funding that isn't based on often inequitable overhead algorithms, and by leveraging funder resources and relationships to provide capacity to organizations to allow them to innovate, both in terms of systems and people. And we need to make sure that funders are also ensuring that their own teams have the same space to approach grant making experientially, to think independently, and to serve as thought partners to their grantees. These elements all create the breeding ground for innovation. When you understand and embrace this initial building block, you will look at innovation differently. You'll appreciate that innovation is about how you are set up and funded to create this innovative space and mindset. So the next time someone talks to you about being innovative, reframe the conversation to instead be one about creating space for experimentation, which given our current reality is incredibly innovative within itself. And that's our Fast Build. On our next Fast Build Friday, we'll continue the conversation about innovation and infrastructure with the second building block. I want to hear how you are thinking about innovation and infrastructure. I'd love to hear from you and about your experience in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend and keep building bravely.